Name for the court reporter.
Yeah, I'm Chad Chavez, last name Chavez.
Welcome again, Mr. Chavez.
Thank you again. So I just wanted to maybe take another minute here to speak to you guys about the timeline that led up to the protest. Heard a couple people talk about how they felt like we were trapped essentially on the square by the police. And that they really came ready to inflict the violence that they did, knowing that there would be confusion. And really because we heard from someone this evening that said that they thought we got our chance to speak. And I don't think that the timeline actually shows that. After the 6-1 chemical agents were used to disperse protesters, McMurray gave an interview to the press saying that there would be another protest if people felt the need to continue to express their concerns. They could come from 5 to 8 o'clock on 6/3. Said that to the media. The morning of the protest, Madison Sheriff's Office gave an interview saying there will be a protest tonight from 5 to 8 o'clock. And again, that's why they were closing down the courthouse. They were going to make a safe environment for everyone to practice that. I took screenshots, and I will provide these to you guys through the portal that we appreciate you guys putting together. But I took screenshots that right around 3 o'clock, the NAACP had to update what the timing for their event would be. They changed it from 5 to 8, which had been planned the entire week. They changed it 2 hours before the event to from 5 to 6:30, and that's where a lot of the confusion with what the event was supposed to be, where we were allowed to be, came from. It's hard to communicate that when you change it at the last minute, and that change came through Chief McMurray. He said that during his presentation. When people were at the NAACP event, we thought that we were allowed to go up onto the square because they had boxed it off per the original permit, per the original plan. The entire thing had been blocked off. There was no traffic we were blocking because they had already blocked the roads. The orders to disperse came well before that original 8 o'clock time that everyone thought that they were allowed. And I don't think that it was a coincidence that they specifically used that force before the 8 o'clock mark. The calls to disperse came, but we saw video of Chief McMurray using an LRAD to disperse people, but not to communicate with them. He communicated by a handheld bullhorn, did not use the magnification technology available through the LRAD to tell people to disperse. So these people thought that because the police don't like what we have to say, they were kicking us out ahead of the time that we had been planning on for the entire time. And that's where a lot of these concerns about Chief McMurray using his power to trample the rights of our First Amendment come from. And then for him to come in here, and again, I've got screenshots of the same tweets that everyone has talked about him using to imply things about people that aren't true, to risk our standing in the community, our jobs, because we dared to speak out against police violence. I think that if they'd given us till 8 o'clock like we were originally told, I don't think that people came looking for a fight. He's right that that first protest was peaceful. He's wrong that it was a different group on the square. It wasn't. None of the people that he claimed he saw coming in through social media or technology ever appeared. Instead of posting up police officers at these cars that he claims that they saw on the square that came from other states, they could have had officers sitting there waiting to arrest people that they claim were organizing violence. Instead, they all lined up to brutalize our citizens, the citizens you guys represent. That's not proactive policing. Their only interest was proactive violence, and they said that. They were not worried about, they were more worried about the defensive capabilities of a set of goggles and not this supposed act of violence and property damage that was coming. And yeah, I just think it's important to establish that timeline and how the police actions led to the confusion that then gave them the green card to commit these acts of violence. And again, I will be more than happy to provide any of you individually screenshots. I will also upload those to the portals because I think it's important to recognize their failures in communication.
Thank you.